Thank you, James. As thousands of homeowners are scrambling to repair damage from the Southern California wildfires, others here in the Bay Area are dealing with wind damage and flooding from recent storms. Let's see what we can learn from this particularly treacherous start to the year when it comes to natural disasters and focus on something most people don't think about unless it is an emergency: home insurance. We welcome Harvey Rosenfield, the founder of Consumer Watchdog, a nonprofit progressive organization that advocates for taxpayer and consumer interests. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, so already this year we have seen floods, we have seen fire. What is covered in just a standard homeowner's policy?
Fire, not floods. Insurance industry stopped covering flooding a long time ago. That's a federal government responsibility.
So flooding as in it's raining outside and the water comes in, that's not covered. But flooding as in my dishwasher breaks and my kitchen is flooded, that is covered?
No, rain would be covered. Flooding from, overflow from a river or the ocean, that's considered a flood. It depends on what the policy says, and there's a lot of litigation all the time because, as we know, the insurance companies don't like to pay claims. They make most of their money from investing our premiums,
right,
so they really don't love to have to pay any of that money out.
Okay, let's go back to the rain, because even I need clarification here. There's a ton of rain outside, and it seeps into my home. That is covered?
That is covered, yeah.
But a flood as in I live next to a river, it overflowed its banks, and that water came inside is not?
Typically, yeah, that's correct.
Wow. This is, this is difficult to understand for any homeowner who says, I think I was denied coverage that I deserve. Have they been successful in fighting it, or what is that process like?
There's a constant battle. Let's talk about wildfires for a second. You know, the companies have really tried to avoid paying claims for smoke damage, which is, or to pay all the coverage for damage from smoke, which is, for most people, unless you lose your home, that's where most of the coverage claims are. So it's a constant battle. We always hope that insurance companies will rise to the occasion. We paid our premiums year after year, hoping never have to file a claim. Yeah. And then when you do, they can give you a really hard time. And we just hope that between the not having to go to a lawyer, just pleading with the company, they'll do the right thing. But you just don't know.
Yeah. So extra coverage like fire cost, or even flood insurance, costs money that many Californians don't have, given what many call a home insurance crisis in our state. Are more people uninsured or underinsured than before these days?
Well, here's the devastating thing that's just happened. The Insurance Commissioner of California, Ricardo Lara, has just ordered a $1 billion bailout of the California insurance companies by policyholders all over the state. This will appear in the form of basically a tax to cover the insurance companies' debts from these wildfire losses in Los Angeles in January. So people all over the state, even people, say, in Oakland, who are at low risk of fire, are going to have to pay to reimburse the insurance companies for the claims of high-risk properties, say, along the coast of Malibu, those $2 to $4 million homes. So we are actually in a crisis now that's largely been caused by the behavior of the insurance industry. And they've done this because they weren't prepared for climate change, and they've also done it because they want to be freed of regulations that the voters put in place 36 years ago to protect against price gouging.
All right, let's talk about what is in our control. Many homeowners say, look, I can't control all that, right? I'll deal with that another day. Is there something that people can do right now to make sure that they have the coverage that they need and that what they're expecting will be there if they need it?
That's the critical question right now. Two things people should do. First of all, make sure that your insurance policy is up to date, and that the cost of rebuilding or replacing is fully covered within the policy. A lot of people find out later, after a disaster, that they didn't have enough coverage, or that the company didn't require them to pay enough, to buy enough coverage to cover the cost of a claim. So number one is make sure you're fully insured. Number two, take a video of every part of your home, of the contents of the home, the interior and exterior, so you can document it if you've had a loss.
All right. Two good pieces of advice. Harvey, it's always good to connect. Thank you for joining us from Consumer Watchdog.
Thank you. Take care.
Of course. You too.